Another day, another hack in the DeFi space. Unfortunately, this time it's with a cross-chain bridge called Nomad.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast.
Unfortunately, the news has come out and they have found that Nomad bridge has been hacked for about $190 million worth of assets on there. Everything from wrapped Bitcoin and wrapped Ethereum to other cryptocurrencies that were wrapped being bridged by the Nomad ecosystem. Now, if you haven't heard of Nomad Bridge before, they are claiming to be a highly secure way of bridging and building cross-chain applications through their bridge so you can move those assets from one chain to another. Now, if you haven't seen their bridge before, I have done videos on this one when moving assets to Wilcometer. You can see here that you can select the origin of where your assets are coming from and then choose the destination and move those assets freely. Now, the smart contracts that are available on the bridge are supposed to secure and lock in your assets there so you can bridge your assets back to and from either chain. But unfortunately, it's come to the attention that a lot of assets are being drained. So this here at 7:15 p.m. New York time, the attacker had drained 45 million worth of assets directly from the bridge. And we can see here in this tweet, like another 10 million per minute. This is all really unfortunate because recently the Nomad team had raised 22.4 million in terms of seed funding from investors led by Polychain Capital to build their bridge and make it better and improve that ecosystem and interoperability between multiple different chains. Now, they did pride themselves on being a security first cross-chain protocol, but unfortunately, as we now know, something very bad has happened. And of course, this has come after multiple other hacks in the DeFi space. This one here, earlier this year, Wormhole was hacked, and also the Ronin bridge for Axie Infinity was hacked as well. So these bridges are targets because they lock in your assets there, and any of those vulnerabilities in those smart contracts can be exploited. Now, we did have a really nice breakdown on Twitter here by this user, Sam CZ Sun. And he goes through the entire process of how the teams detected the hack was happening. I'll put a link to this down below in the show notes for you so that you can follow on and read into this. But essentially, if we just go down here to the very last one, a routine upgrade marked the 0 hash as a valid root. So this is a little bit of programming that they do here. This one here that you can see, this is quite a common thing. It was said that it's acceptable to actually do this, but by doing so, it put all the proofs as true when it should be false for a lot of the transactions. But making it automatically true meant that anyone could spoof the messages, and it allowed the hackers to abuse the network, copy and paste the transactions, and drain the bridge that way. So unfortunately, that was added into the upgrade of their smart contract, this one here, and it allowed the hackers to exploit that. So now you may be thinking, okay, this is an Ethereum kind of based bridge. How does it affect anyone in the Cardano ecosystem? Well, Wing Riders is highly dependent on the bridge assets that came over via Nomad. Nomad was one of the first bridges to integrate to Wilcometer, and Wing Riders worked closely with them to bring in those wrapped assets, the wrapped USDT, the wrapped BTC, and wrapped ETH onto their platform. And as you can see, their TVL, the total value locked, has dropped from that lovely 57.61 million down to 19.13. So just go back one and you can see here at a glance, the last minute change, the last 7-day change, they've dropped almost 70% in terms of TVL on their DEX. That's really unfortunate that's exposed on the Cardano ecosystem because it's made a really big impact. You can see the blip here on the graph of that TVL dropping on the Cardano ecosystem as well. So what's going to happen next? I really don't know. I am sorry for anyone that has lost any of the assets or liquidity from this particular hack. From just looking at this, anyone that's had a lot in Wing Riders may have lost a lot of their assets from there. Can it recover? Maybe. I don't know. The previous hack with the Wormhole, as you can see here, it was actually replenished by investors. So investors had a deep want to make sure that the Wormhole bridge stayed operable and created that cross-chain interoperability so that investors put their own money back into it to replenish everyone's funds. Now, a very similar thing happened with the Ronin bridge, where investors pulled assets and money together to try and replenish the funds for anyone that was in the Axie Infinity and that Ronin bridge hack. Now, I don't think the funds had been distributed from that yet, but they may be very soon, and hopefully people can recover from that hack as well. But what will happen with this one here? I don't know, only time will tell. Have investors had enough of this? Are they going to get cold feet? Will they replenish it back? I don't know. So once again, I'm sorry for anyone that has been affected by this. It's a really tough situation, especially with the amount of money that had been drained from the bridge itself. If you are affected, please reach out to other people, talk about the problem, talk about the situation, and maybe a solution can come out of it. If you found any of this information useful, if you want to find all the links and references, everything down below, everything on our website, learncardano.io. Really appreciate the thumbs up, click subscribe, notification bell, and you'll see me in the next video.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debate.